Hey family, it's your boy Mark Black. I decided to change up the format a little bit for a couple of different reasons. One, the way I was doing it before, even though it seemed like it was pretty simplistic, just having some loops playing in the background as far as video goes and things like that while recording a commentary, believe it or not, it takes quite a bit of time. And I don't think it allows for the flexibility that I need at this juncture to be able to communicate with my people, right? I don't have the flexibility that I need to be able to just drop something to get you information, to get feedback and comments from my people, the people that subscribe, etc. So, and not only that, but I've gotten some feedback from my people who indicated that it would be better if they knew what I look like, who I was, etc. So with that in mind, this is me. This is your boy, beard and all, right? But I'm still the same Mark Black, right? The same voice you've been hearing. There's a couple of different reasons why I didn't show my face previously. One, and the primary reason for me, and this is, me sharing a few things with you. I'm going to go into a topic today, don't worry. But this is kind of, from now on, not too much scripted stuff. A lot of my recordings previously were scripted. Like, I wrote them, and I would record them, and because I really believe in quality, I want to make sure that I deliver a quality product, right? Good information, practical information that we can use immediately. And so I wrote and recorded what I wrote. But going forward, not that I still lack, I still have the focus on quality. That's important for me as an individual. But I also want that additional flexibility. I want to be able to take 15, 20 minutes, an hour, whatever the hell I feel out of my day, and be able to just come on here and talk with the family. Right, to share things with you guys so that we can have some immediate feedback. I'm even going to do some shows still in the old format, right? I still have my radio show that I want to do and things like that, but I've been focusing a lot on personal development, right? Because a lot of the time when I come to us and I say different things, I try to make it as personal as possible. One of the things that pisses me the fuck off is that we have a lot of different commentators, a lot of different people who speak on various topics that are salient, that are appropriate for black people to be hearing. But we always start way up here and we never get down into the meat and potatoes. We never get down into things that are practical, things that we can start doing as individuals and as a collective today to start furthering our goal of economic justice, freedom, peace, equality, whatever you define that is, and so on and so forth. So I have made it a point that when I record things, I wanted to get the message out. I didn't want people to be attached to the messenger, and I still don't. Just because you see my face, just because this is me, right? I want you to understand that I'm still talking to you. Or still having a dialogue. It's just that I want you to have a better sense or a better idea of who Mark Black is as an individual, so we can relate, right? It's one thing to hear what Mark Black has to say, damn, that makes sense, or, the brother's right on point with that topic. I buy into that. But it's another thing for us to have a conversation. So I wanted to change up the format to give me an additional bit of flexibility to be able to record more often. And not only that, but to develop that sense of dialogue, that conversation back and forth. This isn't just your brother talking at you. This is us talking to each other. So I've got a couple of things that I want to discuss. Just like I said, topics that just are out there that I want to address. First and foremost, I want to give some shout outs. I don't think we do that enough as a people, right? And I get the reasons why. We work hard, we spend our money. I mean, I've spent hundreds of dollars, if not thousands of dollars actually, for my recording setup, for cameras, for mixer boards right here, good microphone right up here, a good computer to record everything on, to make modifications, etc. And while we don't do it, at least I don't do it to try to benefit, right, to get remuneration or some sort of a recompense back for what I do. I also recognize that I have made this investment, and so it gets really easy to not focus, or pinpoint or highlight someone else who's doing some good work. But I wanted to do that today because even though I haven't been recording, I'm still active in the community. I still pay attention to various YouTubers. I still do things on Facebook. And so these people are the ones that I watch or that I pay attention to, and they uplift. I don't always agree with them. I don't even always sometimes like what they have to say, but I appreciate the effort that they put into saying what they're saying, and I find myself in an area of more agreement with them most often than I do not. And so some shout outs here. First of all, I want to give a shout out to Sister Ajali. She's the queen that talks a lot about Fukushima fallout, right, from the reactors over in Japan. But she's not one-dimensional by any means. But that's the thing I think she's primarily known for. I have actually wanted to comment a great deal on Fukushima and what's happening with the fallout from the explosion of those reactors over there. I mean, for me, at least the jury is still out a little bit as to what the actual effects of all that radiation might be in the short term. Okay, I'm not certain if Ajali and other people or the other sources that she's referred us to are 100% right as to the catastrophic nature in the short term of what happened at Fukushima. But what I can say for a certainty is that the Queen is spot on in that the effects from this just flat out economic, or not economic, but ecological, economic and ecological disaster have yet to be felt. I mean, people, we need to wake up. You can't put that much cesium-238 and cesium-237, plutonium-238, and so on and so forth into the damn Pacific Ocean with no effects. Once it starts getting into the food chain, we're talking about the little linkages, right? The phytoplankton is then consumed by, krill, which is consumed by so many other creatures, which is consumed by smaller fish, which is consumed by larger fish, which we then eat. And the radiation doesn't go anywhere, people. That's the worst part. The radiation does not diminish except with time. So there's no anti-radiation shit you can sprinkle on something and go, oh, magically I can eat this now. That's not true. And as this bloom of toxic radioactive material spreads into the Pacific Ocean biome and thus into the food chain, the rates and incidences of cancer and other effects of alpha, beta, and gamma radiation are only going to increase. And it would behoove all of us to, at the very least, get some damned education as to what radiation is in the first place. I mean, this is physics 101, right? I'm not asking you to go and get a degree in this, but understand what alpha, beta, and gamma radiation is. Understand the sources, both natural and artificial or man-made, that that cause these various radiative materials to be out there, and to understand the effects on a human body, on the DNA, because radiation destroys DNA over time. And what is cancer? Cancer is nothing but cells that have lost the capability of turning themselves off from dividing. That's at the DNA level. So, shout out to Sister Ajali. Peace and blessings to her, because she always wishes us peace and blessings. This sister, this queen is amazing, and I can't say enough about her. Another shout out, Queen Kim, the sister Amethyst, right, on YouTube. I met Queen Kim actually participating in a online show or broadcast with a brother named Lance Scurv, who I'm going to give another shout out to. Lance actually inspired me to do what it is that I'm doing now. He did it sort of indirectly. I've always had the nascent seeds of wanting to do something like this for the longest time, but a combination of ignorance, of just being unaware of how to go about doing it, and not really having that fire in the belly, the inspiration, is why it never occurred. But participating in the brother's show and having an opportunity to speak publicly for the first time, where people could actually not only hear what I have to say, but could respond, and noting that there was a positive response to how I addressed things, was really, really inspirational. So Lance, I can't say enough about you, elder brother. I know your birthday was recently. Happy birthday. I hope I look half as good as you when I get your age. But yeah, the Queen Amethyst, she brings the fire. But I really admire the kind of, I won't say turnaround, because it wasn't really a turnaround, but she's changed tactics. She's gauged the response of the community and the response of the people that are against her. And she's altered her tactics to reach the same goal. And that to me is the sign of a mind, a sharp mind, a mind that thinks, right? She now recognizes that yes, there is a point in time to bring the heat, and she's still capable of doing it. But she also utilizes that obvious intellect that she has now in a way that uplifts and builds at the same time. So it's not just burning fire, that destructive burning fire. It is now the fire similar to what you find in a smelter or a forge. Sure, the heat's there, but the heat works in a way to purify, to uplift the materials that is exposed to. And I wanted to give a shout out to her. Another shout out, and thank you all, by the way, for being super patient with me. Like I said, this isn't planned, so this is just stream of consciousness off the top of the dome, as I like to say, right? But I want to give another shout out. This brother, Brother Jedi. Yeah, I did a video, and first of all, I'm still shocked that you came and commented on my video. The honor for me, I'm speaking for me personally. I don't give a damn what other people have to say about you and how you operate and how you do things. But the honor for me was beyond words. You are definitely an established YouTuber. And for me to have said anything that you not only maybe found salient or appropriate, but also found original enough to want to comment upon, words don't express. So thank you for that, brother. Also, too, though, I really dig the Jedi because he digs deep. Me and him, or I should say him and I, we do have a disagreement about the whole voting thing. Now, I actually understand the logic behind what he's saying as far as like supporting Bernie Sanders over the bitch he calls Sniper Fire, Hillary Clinton, right? So I understand the logic behind it. Now, where we disagree is not necessarily in who to vote for. If I was deciding to vote, it would be for someone like Bernie Sanders. I wouldn't necessarily be for him. I actually lean way further to the left than most. I'd vote for people like Jill Stein or whatever the socialist or communist candidate was out there. But that said, I'm not certain I agree with the brother that voting is necessarily even a viable tactic in our battle against racism, white supremacy at this point. But I respect the shit out of the fact that the brother's done his homework. He's done entire two hour long videos actually detailing why he thinks the way he does, and provides the evidence. Now it is up to us whether we accept where his, evidence leads, right? But I can't stress enough how much I admire the thought process and the just sheer damned willpower of this brother. His work is prolific. He definitely makes a point at being clear, concise, and getting the job done. And I can't say enough for him. There's another shout out I want to give. There's a brother, David Andrade, on Facebook. If you've not followed this elder brother, something's wrong with you. And I'm keeping it 100% because this brother gives it to you straight, no chaser, from an elder brother perspective that we just don't get these days with the so-called civil rights generation. These older, for lack of a better way to say it, older Uncle Tom-ish sellout, whatever. David Andrade is like, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing the brother's name right. It's Andrade. So I'm assuming Andrade. But this brother brings the heat. And I like that he talks to the young folk, not at them. He actually talks to the young folk. He's done videos on encouraging the brothers and sisters who are participating in like gang activity to unite, making them aware of their power as a group of warriors should they decide to stop pointing their guns at each other and start pointing their weapons at our oppressors. I mean, amazing, brothers. So, okay, I'm done with the shout outs. To all of those people, again, my heart is with you. Agree or disagree, you always have my undying admiration, respect, love, and just flat out loyalty. And I appreciate all of the work that you guys do. Keep it coming, please, because it definitely is noticed and it's inspiring. So one of the topics that I wanted to touch on today was this speech that Barack Obama gave at Howard recently. I've heard clips. I can't bring myself to watch the shit. It's just hearing him speak, that oily kind of slick manner that he speaks in, I can't tolerate it for too long. It makes me want to put a fist through something. And since I'm mostly a non-violent individual unless attacked, I don't like feeling like I want to commit violence. But with that said, I wanted to address a portion of what he said. And I'm paraphrasing here. I'm not going to play a recording. Like I said, this is all one recording, one stream of consciousness, okay? But essentially, this man said that we need to empathize with the middle-class white guy, who has found in the last X number of years, his whole lifestyle turned upside down due to change, like technological change or cultural changes and so on and so forth. And I have to admit, just when I think Barack Obama can't get any more coonish, just when I think it's impossible for him to carry water for white supremacy anymore, he goes and surprises me. The dude is amazing. So let me make sure that I understand correctly what he's asking from us as a people. Because you notice that our fellow white Americans, the remaining constituency of his, never get these sorts of lectures, these sorts of speeches or comments directed at them. like that they need to understand and empathize with us. There's a reason why Black Lives Matter is out there in the streets protesting people. And if we were to empathize with their experience, they never get that shit. That's reserved for us. Okay, so that's number one. But if I understand correctly what he's asking us to do, he is asking us to walk a mile in middle class white people's shoes because the benefits that they were previously getting from the rape, the pillaging, the theft, the murder of my people, of our people, has lessened, right? They're not doing quite as well from the fruits of their ill-gotten gains as before. And so we need to have empathy for them. We need to have understanding for that. Now, I'm going to guess here that that's the same thing that you guys got from his speech, from that, at least that particular portion of his speech. So, in the immortal tradition of the Queen Amethyst, I have 2 words for you, Barack Obama. Fuck you. You may not have heard them, so I'm going to say them again. Fuck you. Empathy for them. Empathy for them. They have literally swollen blood fat like ticks off of the labor, the resources, the efforts, whatever we have that's valuable. Because you know what my definition of racism is, people. Racism is the system that is designed to take and control and own as much black labor, black resources, black efforts, and put the fruits of that into the pockets of the white people collectively, right? Any other definition for me is bullshit. Sorry, it's not that they don't like us. Some white people like us, some don't. That's going to always be that way, right? It ain't that, they won't let us live where... No. It is a system that is designed to hoover as much from us to benefit them, period. And so knowing that that's what racism / white supremacy is in America, you're asking us to empathize with the fact that their efforts to do that to us are less effective than they were previously. So, like Brother Jason Black said on a recent broadcast, I think it was the 15th, he said, so instead of them having, 5,000 to 1 more income than us, now they only have 4,000. Oh, fucking boo-hoo for them, right? It sucks to be them. They're actually benefiting less from the pillaging of everything good and resourceful from my people. Oh, my heart fucking bleeds for you. Barack Obama, you will never watch this. And I understand why. There's no way in hell you would ever care about what it is that I have to say. But Barack Obama, should you ever see this, I want you to understand one important thing. It is good, really, really good, that you do not speak for us. Sure, there's a lot of us that supported you, right? That voted you into office, historically speaking, and so on and so forth, right? It was cool to get you in there, right? I even feel that, right? As far as like your politics and shit goes, I can't stand you. But it was a really little niggling nice feeling inside to have a black man be the president. So thank you for that, at least. But man, to listen to you and people like you signals the death knell of our people. The death knell. I mean, are we supposed to actually beg white people to victimize us more so that they feel better, right? So they're angry, they're pissed off, they're upset because the same assholes that run the corporations that they've trusted, that they voted in politicians that support policies for outsourcing, for hiding tax money, so on and so forth. Now that they're reaping the fruit of all of these policies that they put into place, we're supposed to empathize with them when they haven't once. They haven't once empathized with us. As a matter of fact, at every single turn, we're told that we're making excuses, that we're living in the past, that we're blaming Whitey. Oh, I love that one. And so on and so forth, right? So absolutely no understanding, zero understanding or empathy for anything that relates to us as melanated black ass people. And yet our best and brightest, I guess if you can still call Howard a bastion of our best and brightest, are supposed to leave the school and go out into the world with the mindset of, oh, sorry people, excuse me. Alarm, got to get ready for the plantation pretty soon. But they're supposed to go out into the world not with the mindset of what can I do starting today with the education that I received to benefit me and my people. They're supposed to go out into the world and look on how they can empathize and benefit white people more. As if these motherfuckers haven't benefited so much already. Like, Barack, man, I gotta hand it to you. I mean, the greatest hits just keep coming. It's almost like the Bushisms, Coon style. Like, keep them coming, bro. Because if nothing else, it's comedy gold. And it's imperative that black people wake up and see not even what white people think about us, but what these so-called black leaders think about us. I mean, it takes some guts to actually believe that black people are stupid enough to listen to a speech asking us to empathize with the people that have grown fat off of everything that belongs to us, and to look at them and go, well, I feel pretty bad about the fact that they're not benefiting quite as much from, from stealing from us and all the stolen labor, resources, land, and all of that as before. What can we do to make their lives better? Wow. Okay, I'm going to kind of shorten this up a bit because, like I said, massa calls. Got to get back on the plantation. But I wanted to give a big clap to Willie D. Thank you, Willie D. The Coon song, man, it's become my anthem. I play it at least 5-10 times a day. Call me excessive. I don't give a shit. It's a great song, and it's been overdue. Like, we needed an anthem, like an anti-Coon anthem. So if you haven't heard it, please jump on whatever resource, iTunes, whatever you got, get it. Support the brother, because the song is worth it. Coons. I promised myself in 2016 that I would not attack my own people, right? And I'm going to hold to that. You won't hear me speak a lot on Coons, right? Barack Obama, I didn't even attack him. In my opinion, he's not worthy of attack. He's no threat. He really isn't. Sure, he made a dumbass speech. But is that really threatening to any thinking black person? No. So, I'm not going to attack him. But we definitely need, in the spirit of protection for our people, in the spirit of constructive criticism as opposed to destructive, we do need to start calling out these coons. And I do believe that it will get to a point, if we do not, that just calling them out will not be enough. There will need to be bloodshed in the streets. Not not that I want that, but they will need to be ended. They are definitely a threat to our people. And one way or another one, we are going to have to address them. We are going to have to deal with them. I'd rather deal with them through shunning, ridicule, public shaming, outing them, right? Whenever we see some coon shit, it needs to be blasted all over social media, told to our friends, family, etc. Right? I'd rather handle it that way. But make no mistake about it, if this coon shit doesn't stop, people are going to have to start disappearing. And you can call that what you will. All right? You can say that I'm advocating violence. I'm not. I've made it clear that I'm not an advocate for that. Right? But when the threat from these individuals becomes so great, we have to do something to stop the threat. It's as simple as that, right? You just simply have to. So, yeah, thank you, Willie D. Love the song, man. Can we get a part 2, or can we get a collabo with, like, Bushwick if he's still around? I'm just saying, I was a huge Ghetto Boys fan back in the day. It wouldn't hurt me. It wouldn't hurt me, Willie, if you got down with Scarface, with Bushwick, etc., and dropped a whole black-owned, Black Love album, man. Just, come back hard. That would be mind-blowing for me. That'd be great. Excuse me. The last thing that I really want to discuss here is why I haven't been doing a lot of recordings. To simply put, man, I got a life. When I started doing this, this is my enjoyment, by the way. This is my pleasure, right? I do this because I really enjoy the dialogue, the give and take, the back and forth with my people. But I still have a family to feed, right? I'm just like all the rest of you, right? I've got business things that I'm working on. I've got, some church stuff that I'm working on, right? I'm actually trying to do something to present to you people, right? To present to you and say, hey, I'm not just one of these guys that talks about it. I am about it, right? Here's the evidence. Here's the proof. And I'm not talking about just photocopied documents or some old bullshit like you see on some other channels, I'm not talking about, quasi-legal extrajudicial paper shuffling to modify your legal statuses and all that other garbage. Like, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about actual, tangible, pinpoint things that I've done that I can show you. And so that's my focus. Sure, I love the dialogue. And now that I'm trying this new format, we will have more of a give and take, a more dialogue, conversation back and forth. Please feel free to hit me up on all my social media. All the links are on my main page, right? I've got Instagram, I've got Twitter, right? Facebook. You guys know where I'm at, right? That's not changed. Or you can just post comments right here at the bottom, right, of the video. But I haven't been recording that much because that's been my focus. And as well as, in my opinion, it should be the focus of all of us who are seeking some sort of degree of influence with our people, right? Look, the ones who become the chiefs of the tribe are not the ones who are the most popular. This isn't a goddamn popularity contest, right? Sure, certain people like Tariq, certain people like Tommy Sotomayor, some people like Lance Scurv, some people like me, some people like the Queen Amethyst, right? You're always going to have that popularity factor. But traditionally in a tribe, the one who becomes a chief is the one who's the most wise and serves the most members, or serve as many members of the community as possible, right? In other words, they have to demonstrate that they know what they're doing, and they have to show and prove, and the people see that and go, wow, we support that, and we support you for doing that. So that's why I've not been doing a lot of recording. But Like I said, this format right here is a little bit more flexible for me. It gives me a lot more opportunity to be able to say some things to you, to be able to get responses back. And so be expecting more from me. It's your boy Mark Black. It's a pleasure to meet those of you who I've not met. And for those who have heard me in the past but never knew what I look like or who I am, here I am. And I ain't going anywhere. So with that said, I wish everybody love, peace, kindness. Let's keep fighting, people. We're not done by a long shot. Enemies are arrayed all around. Enemies of ignorance, enemies of lies, enemies of anything that's good, peaceable, holy, beautiful, that we are. We have enemies. And we cannot stop fighting until we defeat them. It's as simple as that. All right. Please start studying up on the effects of radiation and what's happening over in Fukushima. I promised the sister that I would speak up on it, and I hope that I've at least given people an avenue of inquiry, Sister Ajali, because I can't do the topic nearly as much justice as you do. But I do see it as a priority. I do see it as a concern. And yes, I do see it as a catastrophic threat. And one of which, if we don't pay attention and we're, lollygagging and bullshitting around, hopping around, chasing after what we've been chasing after, we're going to find that there's going to be some problems for us. So there's that study on Fukushima. Please check out the people that I gave shout outs to. They are definitely worth listening to, in my honest opinion. So if you think my opinion's worth something, please check those people out. Barack, man, fuck you. Again, I can't say it enough. You're entertaining, but you're also disgusting and a major threat. Any one of us who listens to you, there's something wrong with us. Simple as that. Willie D, please, man, take my advice. Jump in with the rest of the brothers from the Ghetto Boys, man, and just drop it. It's time. It's been past time. We need that. And be expecting people to hear more from me. So love, peace, prosperity to the people. Power to my people. And I will see you next time.